Today on the channel, we're going to go over all the reveals from San Diego Comic-Con 2023 for Hasbro Marvel Legends.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another San Diego Comic-Con reveals video, as we've had a lot of these videos on the channel over the last week or so, and today we're going over what I saw from Hasbro Marvel Legends team. And of course, San Diego Comic-Con, a big event, a lot of reveals, a lot of panels, things like that. I was a part of the panel over there for the Marvel Legends team. I did film the majority of that, and I did post it in my YouTube channel. So if you want to see the panel, check that one out. And of course, I talked about this on the channel as well, I was invited to the Hasbro breakfast Thursday morning, I guess the first official day of Comic-Con. Hasbro had a breakfast off-site, showed a few new reveals actually, and you got to talk with the team. You know, Ryan, Dan, Dwight were there, and others, Emily, Lenny from the G.I. Joe team, and so forth from there. So it was pretty cool to get that experience, get to overlook the Padres Petco Park, I believe it was. Got to overlook all that and kind of look down into the stadium. That was a pretty cool view as well. So a really, really fun event for the Marvel Legends team. And the Marvel Legends team always does a really good job at San Diego Comic-Con reveals, panels like that. There are so many figures turning and burning at all times. There's always something new every time you turn the corner, really, with the Marvel Legends team. So let's dive into it. Let's start it off. I guess we'll start with that breakfast. Like I said, a really good event there. The big announcement, or I guess the reveal from that one, and it was later at San Diego Comic-Con, as you can imagine, Deluxe Detroit Steel figure, a character I've heard of, don't really know a whole lot about, but it is reuse of that Hydra Stomper. Got to get the most out of your molds at the end of the day. We do know that it is the toy business. So they found a way to go about that. Not sure exactly where that one's going to hit, when that one's going to hit. I would assume the end of the year or 2024. But it was cool to see that in person. It was cool to see some stuff for the first time before the floor and all that kind of stuff. So really fun to be in the know a little earlier, I guess. I don't know, a couple hours earlier, or whatever it was at that point. But very cool to see that Detroit Steel. I'll definitely pick that up just to remember and commemorate the event at the end of the day there. So talked about the Hasbro panel. Check out that video if you want to see some of that, kind of how it was done. A lot of stuff was shown, a lot of discussion. Man, they gave away a ton of stuff at the end of that panel too. Gotta say, out of all the panels I went to, Marvel Legends team knocked it out of the park. They gave away a Sentinel to somebody in the audience, Galactus to somebody in the audience, and figures, and a few different figures throughout to the audience there. So, boy, it pays to be a part of that panel, no doubt about it. And I guess every seat was numbered. They drew tickets, and that's how that happened. Unfortunately, I didn't win anything, but I don't know what I'd do. If I won Galactus, I guess you ship it home, I guess is what you do. That's not going to fit on the... You get an extra seat for it on the plane? I don't know. Who knows there? But let's dive into some of these other reveals, and let's dive into the ones that I'm excited about. I'm excited about a lot of this stuff, but some stuff bubbles to the top for all of us. And of course, for me, X-Men 97. I was a big fan of the X-Men animated series as a kid. Very excited for the new series on Disney+. We'll see what happens with that. It sounds like Magneto's going to be leading the team in that one. A lot of Sentinels, and it sounds like Mr. Sinister might be the main bad guy of the returning series. So we'll see what happens, but we do have a toy line coming with these. No stranger to that is the Marvel Legends team. Makes sense. You got a new show out there. Let's get a toy line to go along with it. And a lot of people are going to be very excited about this line because these are the core X-Men characters, and for the majority. And I'm sure we'll get a Series 2, Series 3, and so forth. And a lot of people missed out on other X-Men characters because, okay, Cyclops released 3 years ago, Storm 2 years ago, this version of Wolverine was 3 years ago, and so on, so on. Gambit was a year ago, whatever it may be. This is a time to just swoop in and get core members of the team. If you're a new collector, this is perfect for you. So this does hit the feels for a lot of people out there. It's going to get new people into Marvel Legends as well. I guarantee there's a lot of people that like the X-Men, they like comic books, things like that, but they've never dived in. Well, now they can go to their local store. Let's say it's Target. Oh my gosh, there's that whole X-Men team. I'm watching it on Disney Plus right now. I'm going to buy this team just for my desk, and that could snowball into something else. So I think this is a win-win for Marvel, win-win for the animated series, win-win for the Hasbro team, of course. But they did show off the carding, very retro-style carding, of course, but it is X-Men 97. We got Magneto, we got Rogue, we got a short-haired Bishop. That's probably the biggest difference of all these ones. There's differences, of course, but that is something we haven't had from the Marvel Legends team in quite some time, so I do like the idea of that. Storm, Gambit, and I can't remember if I mentioned Wolverine. So that's the core Series 1. No bad guys in there, though, so that's a little bit disappointing. And if Mr. Sinister is the new bad guy, we'll see. I'd love to get a brand new Mr. Sinister figure, as we did get a repaint in the animated series line just not too long ago. And then, of course, we had the old figure from, I don't know, 4 years ago. What is time at this point? So we'll see where that line goes. It'll be one to watch out for and one to check out. And it'll be interesting to see what other X-Men and periphery characters come in. The Pyros of the world, the Avalanches, who we've had some of those guys. But we get some new characters out of this one. I guess we'll wait and see. But it does sound like Morph is going to be a part of this series, too, as a part of the team member. So we might get some more Morph going on in the future as well. San Diego Comic-Con, of course, there's always an exclusive. This year was a cool 2-pack. It was Bob the Hydra soldier, I guess, you know, the one that joined Deadpool, the comedic element there. Him and Deadpool 2-pack that did go on Pulse for everybody to buy if they wanted to. Tons and tons of accessories with this one. Very, very cool. Of course, I already made my own Bob years ago, but I guess this is a cleaner version, and I'll turn that Hydra soldier back into a plain Jane Hydra soldier, put him with the other Hydra soldiers. This will be my new Bob. And of course, Deadpool. Always welcome a new Deadpool, one of the most popular characters going right now. I remember when Deadpool debuted. It's crazy. It's crazy to say, oh, I was there when the Avengers first came out. Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. Well, I'm too young for that. Most watching this, probably everybody watching this is too young for that. But it's cool to think back that, man, I was there from when Venom and Carnage first debuted. I was there when Spawn debuted. Savage Dragon, a favorite of mine, of course. But then Deadpool. I remember getting the first issue of Deadpool, his first appearance ever. I mean, stuff like that is pretty cool. It's like people of the olden times, all the olden times, talk about I was there for the first X-Men. I was there for the first Fantastic Four. I was there for the first Superman. I don't know about that, but we'll see. So that is pretty cool there. One that kind of flew under the radar, I don't see a lot of people talking about, was a female Hydra soldier. That was on display at the breakfast as well, and it was also at the San Diego Comic-Con event. I don't know where that's coming or where that's going, but we did see that on display, which I thought looked really good. We did see the Infinity Saga line. It sounds like that is coming back. It started, it went away, it came back, it went away, and now it's coming back again. So there you go. We are getting a Mark II Iron Man. Is what it is. I guess it's something needed, especially if you're a big Iron Man fan, but it didn't blow my socks off, but it is something they haven't done yet, so they're getting around to doing that. One I do need is Bruce Banner. I never got the Toys R Us one back in the day, so a movie version of Bruce Banner is definitely warranted, so I like the idea of that one. It'll be interesting the price point on that one, because those Infinity ones have been a little bit more expensive, like $27.99, something like that. How do you give Bruce Banner, just a guy in a suit by himself, at $27.99. That's a tough pill to swallow. We're going to see what happens with that one. Maybe there'll be some great accessories with it or something. We'll have to stay tuned for that in the future. And then we're getting another Black Widow MCU edition Black Widow here with a little bit more articulation, better head sculpts going on as well. So that is another one warranted. A lot of Black Widow figures in the last couple of years, as we do know. Now here is a very interesting one, and this is one of the biggest reveals of all of San Diego Comic-Con for all toy lines. If you checked out my top 5 San Diego Comic-Con reveals video, this is one that really came out of left field, and they explained it at the panel that basically, we're talking about the Crystal Warriors, and we're talking about Crystar. Now, I know nothing about this, however, and I'll tell the little story here. They announced there that, okay, this was a property that was a Marvel comic, and Marvel owned it but didn't do anything with it, so actually Marvel actually owned the property, and apparently there's other properties out there that Marvel has access to. We might see these in the future. But Crystar and the Crystal Warriors is a very interesting one. As a little kid, of course, when I was a little kid, there was no such thing as the internet. You're 3 years old, you get a Crystar figure, your parents, grandparents, somebody buys it for you. It's in your collection. Guess what? You don't read Crystar comic books when you're 3 years old. You don't know anything about Crystar. And then all of a sudden, it's, 1986, 1987, whatever it is. You're a little bit older, you're playing with your toys a little bit, and you're like, what is this character? I don't know what this is. Maybe this is Iceman. I don't know who this is exactly. I don't know what this is. And there's no way to find out. It's not like Crystar blew off the shelves and every kid in the neighborhood had one. Nobody, and none of my friends' circle, we didn't have a clue what this figure was. And it wasn't until the internet came, and I think it was like 1995, the first time I saw the internet or got on the internet. And I remember saying, what the heck is this? Just searching, trying to figure this out, and I finally found out it was Crystal Warriors. So to see that figure from Marvel Legends that they're going to make this, just like, nostalgia. Playing with that one, mixing it with my Secret Wars figures, my Superpowers figures, even my G.I. Joes from time to time. It was a Frozen guy they found. Just absolutely wild and very a nostalgic trip. I don't know anything about the character, but I know I'm picking this one up. It was just such one of those figures in my childhood that I played with, saw all the time, had no idea what it was about. And there was actually another one of those figures, I won't go into it here, from NECA Dungeons and Dragons, same thing. It was the little dwarf guy, the little dwarf guy with the big axe and the horned helmet. Never had a clue what toy line that was from, didn't know what it was, but I played with it, had it as a child, and then bam, here at San Diego Comic-Con, the two figures, I had no idea what they were as a kid. Now we're getting those in 2023, 2024. Just absolutely wild. Have to imagine Crystar, he's just going to be a one-off in the Marvel Legends style packaging. I would imagine either a fan channel exclusive or just a straight up Pulse exclusive. I guess we'll wait to see what happens with that one. But I thought that was very, very interesting and very cool, and I'd love to see some other properties in the future done that way as well. We also saw Peter Parker and Smythe 2-pack, of course, from the Spider-Man animated series. Smythe was a big, big deal back in that animated series. I remember as a kid having the figure, and then he had that big kind of car thing with kind of the spider things going on. I don't know, but I don't remember Smythe ever being in the comic books. I'm sure he got in there eventually, but when I was reading Spider-Man comics, he was never really around ever, but definitely interested for that one. Smythe's one of those figures we've needed for a long time in the retro line, and we're going to get it in the animated series, so I'm happy to see that. Peter Parker, we've had different Peter Parkers in the past, but this is a truly animated Peter Parker, so I'm here for that as well. We also showed off, or they showed off, Squadron Supreme. Man, they are building out that set quick. We're getting the Power Princess, kind of Marvel's answer to Wonder Woman. I like a little ancillary team. They're just going to be in this corner somewhere. Just off to the side. I'm here for that. I'm here for that all day, actually. So we'll see how that one goes. Interesting. Most of these have been 2-packs. This is a solo pack. Have to imagine this will be another fan channel exclusive. We also saw Vision. It looks like a nice comic Vision on the new body molds and all that is coming. I know a lot of people want some more Vision figures, and the last one we had was probably the White Vision, and then before that it was in that retro card. So it's been a while since we've had a comic Vision. Going to go great on the Avengers shelf. We saw Justice. Keep on building those teams. We talked about Squadron Supreme, a team not a lot of people know and love, but a team like New Warriors, which I would say is a little bit more popular than Squadron Supreme, at least in the circles I run in, and we're getting Justice from the New Warriors. So we're slowly building that team, but Squadron Supreme, man, let's get that thing done right away. Just the way it goes, I guess, from time to time. But Justice is there from the New Warriors. We just got Speedball, was the last member, I believe, of the New Warriors. Here for that. That's one of those great 90s teams when I was a kid reading comic books. I was all in on the New Warriors. I loved me some Thrasher back in the day as well. So we'll see what happens with that. One that I thought was coolest at the reveals, maybe one that got kind of the biggest pop of the crowd a little bit, was, of course, the return of plastic packaging, and it's going to start with a fan channel exclusive wave. The Knights wave, basically, is what this is. So we get plastic-free packaging. What is old is new again, and very cool for all of us. I think a lot of people are very happy about that returning. And this is going to be the first one. Very interesting to do a Marvel Legends wave as a fan channel exclusive. Usually it's just kind of one-off figures of the fan channel exclusives, not a full-on wave. I don't know if that's because this is such a deep cut, or if it's more of the non-kitty characters, maybe. I don't know. Or is Target and Walmart backed up a little bit on Marvel Legends? We've seen a lot of clearances at Target especially. Is there a reason for that? Obviously, they didn't say, but this will be at your Entertainment Earth, your Big Bad Toy Stores, GameStops, I'm sure, maybe Amazon possibly. We'll see that out there. But it is Blade, one character a lot of people have been wanting for a long time is Blade, of course, the Vampire Hunter. Clea, did I say that right? Apparently an assistant of Doctor Strange. Do not remember her, do not know her at all, so an interesting looking figure there. We did see the Fist Ninja. Man, oh man, there's another army builder, and it's a 2-for-1 army builder, as you do get a very cool skull head with that. Definitely very cool. Jesse Falcon for the Marvel team there, Marvel. He made a little jab at Mattel, and I don't think those Mattel guys enjoyed that very much, talking to them later on, but they said they're going to show them how to do a skeleton with a hood on. They're going to teach the Mattel team how to do it right. I don't think the Skeletor fans were a big fan of that comment there, but definitely a cool looking figure. Definitely worth picking up 2 or 3 of those ones. Power Man Luke Cage, that's got to be on a top 10 list of most people's most wanted Marvel Legend figures. Very cool to get a Luke Cage figure. I'm here for that. Lady Bullseye, another deep cut, at least from where I am. We're getting the Lady Bullseye. Daredevil, a new Daredevil. We've had a lot of Daredevils. but it's bearded Daredevil. How about that one? I'm here for a bearded Daredevil. Everybody loves some facial hair from time to time. We're getting the Midnight Sun Iron Man, a little Gamerverse figure thrown in the wave for good measure, I guess. Kind of is what it is. And then nobody, they asked, anybody want to guess the Build-A-Figure? Nobody got this, myself included. I've never even heard of this character either, but it does look really cool. It is the Mindless One, will be the Build-A-Figure. I guess he's an army builder. A little bit dangerous to put a Build-A-Figure as an army builder. That's a very expensive deal right there. But Mindless One, got a couple different effects. Almost looks about Thing size, so it's a big hefty figure. Not quite Incredible Hulk size, but maybe that Fantastic Four Thing size there. Thought that looked pretty good, all things considered there. So that'd be an interesting wave. Like I said, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Stores of the world. Hit the old link in the description below. Get those pre-ordered. They're up for pre-order right now, so there you go there. Interesting lineup from the Marvel Legends team. Going to keep our wallets very busy for the back half of the year and into 2024. A lot of cool stuff to see. But what say you guys out there? What are you looking forward to? What are you picking up? What are you passing on? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day. And we got even more content, including early access to videos like this over on the Patreon channel. Patreon, your best way to support this YouTube channel. And you can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con 2023, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.